Hello, teacher. My name is Maria Jose Vinuesa. I am going to start presenting my screen so I can share with you lesson number 15. For this lesson, informative data, the name of the school, it doesn't apply. The team is a zero conditional. The date is January 24, 2021, and the grade is second Bachillerato General Unificado, and the duration of the class, it's going to be about 45 minutes. The proficiency level, it's a B1, which is the intermediate English, and the lesson plan designer is me, Maria Jose Vinuesa. The objectives planned for this lesson is that our students are going to be able to, first, for the listening part, they will need to discuss some questions. Uh, then for the speaking part, they will need to talk about the questions presented in class. Also for the reading part, they will need to read sentence and complete worksheets. And for the written part, they will need to write sentences and answer correctly all the activities. For the methodology and the strategies, we have a grammar translation method and the total physical response. For the strategies, we have the whole class work and pair work as well. They will need to work in groups of two, and here we are going to work as a class. For the anticipatory set, I will present some discussion questions where here the student will need to think and participate. I will be asking questions such as what happens when you don't study a test, or what happens if you eat a lot of candy, or what happens if you play video games for 10 hours. So those are the questions that I'll be asking at the beginning of the class so students can get ready and see what type of questions I'm making. For the main teaching input, as a warm-up activity, we will listen to a song, we're going to jump, we're going to move our arms, we're going to sit, we're going to stand up. We're going to do a series of things that they will need to involve movement. So for that, the methodology that I'm implementing over there is total physical response. They will need to move so they can get ready for the lesson. The next step will be that I'll be talking to the students about the zero conditional, and I'm going to be writing on the board and explaining what is the concept of using. Using, of course, the if or when plus the plus present simple. And here I'm going to be repeating uh, until the students um, gets an idea of what is zero conditional. Then I'll be asked some students to work on the grammar sheet. All the students will need to work on a grammar sheet, and they will need to complete 15 sentences, and they will need to use zero conditional. They will need to use the formula if or when plus the simple plus the present simple. And also here I'll be using some the previous worksheet that we use to write some answers on the board. Then students will need to read them and share all the activity as well in front of the class. I'll be observing, so for any doubts or questions, any concerns that the student might have, I'll be happy to answer them. Also, we're gonna participate, and the whole class will need to go over the exercises, and we will give some answers as well. Then the student will need to go back to the answers and um, compare them with the rest of the class. The whole class will work on another activity where they need to match 15 clauses to zero conditional sentences. Here, since we are just learning this concept, I'll be happy to assist any of the students who might need help matching the correct sentence. Sometimes it could be overwhelming for the students, so I'm gonna be there with them. And if they need assistance, I'll be more than happy to help them out. And at the end of the class, we're going to do a short quiz to see and to assess the student to see if they understood the topic. For the modeling part, I'll explain so that I'll be explaining some of the activities that the students might have. Um, I will serve as a guide for the beginning until the end of the class. I'm going to give some examples. I'm going to put myself as an example as well so they can work properly on all the activities. For the guided practice, students will do a worksheet. They need to read and complete the sentences. The whole class will need to participate and share their answers, and I'll help the students for any questions and doubts. And also they will need to participate in the quiz. For the independent practice, students will work independently on their worksheet, and also they will need to write sentences and share them with the class. They might need to orally speak and share their answers. So independently, they will need to speak, and also they will need to share the answers with all the class. So that will be for independent practice. And for the assessment, like I said, I'm gonna quiz them. They're gonna have a short quiz, and also participation will be considered as an assessment as well for me. As a closing and review and follow up, we're gonna reinforce once again the topic, and if something was not clear, they will be able to ask or share some ideas. And then that's it for the activity number 15. Mm, I hope this works. So thank you, teacher.